Hi everyone, welcome to the Prime International. My name is Zach from the iElite system. If my voice is loud and clear, give me a thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up and show me you are here. Come on, guys. Yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you for opening up your video camera, right? So today will be a very special sections and there's no product presentations going on. This is all about question and answers, okay, regarding to the iTeraCare. So if any question, this is the section for you, okay? If you have any question about the iTeraCare or anything related to it, okay, today is the day for you, okay? So this is time for you to clarify and any doubts you have in your these products using. All right, so we are honored to have a special guest today for this section, and he's from Malaysia, okay, with a background in physical education, sports science, health and wellness. So please welcome the iTeraCare product advisor, Mr. Soma Sundram.
Good evening and good day, everyone. And good evening, Zach.
Yeah, hi, Mr. Soma. Good to see you here. All right, as
Yeah,
you know, all right, and although iTeraCare is only in the market for about a year, but we already have many users around the world in more than 50 countries and regions. Wow, this is a good achievements. Okay, it's fantastic, and we are glad that the iTeraCare managed to help a lot of people in the world who are suffering from pain, and at the same time, we received some common questions from the market, and we have compiled some of the questions here and would like to seek advice from you. So before we start, Mr. Soma, do you have anything to say?
first and foremost, a very good welcome to all our respected guests from all around the world. And this session is especially for those who are new and probably they already have some knowledge, but would like to know more about how to use the iTeraCare devices and also what the terahertz energy is doing for them, so that at the end of it, they will be more confident in using the iTeraCare devices and they can help themselves and help others much better. Now, before we start, Zach, there are some things I wish to say.
All right.
Just some disclaimers. I'll explain why we are having this. The information and instructions provided in the presentation are for general information purposes only. They are not intended to be substitutes for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment to replace medical advice offered by professional physicians. And information is gathered and shared from reputable sources. However, the owner of the presentation is not responsible for errors or omissions in reporting or explanation, and the owner of this presentation will and shall not be liable for any direct or indirect, consequential, special, exemplary, or other damages arising therefrom. Having said that, this is a requirement presently from the laws of the countries, of most of the countries. All right. Now, first of all, we do not claim to heal. We do not claim to cure. We do not claim this as a physiotherapy device. All right. The reason is because this product is registered as a hot air blower and it is not registered under any medical bodies. All right. So I hope that is clear and understood by our independent distributors and users, because we definitely do not want you to run foul of any law in any country. Zach, is that okay?
All right,
Yeah,
understood.
yeah, good.
All right, okay. I see someone is already raising their hand, but this is not the flow. Okay, I will ask some common question from the market first, and then after that, then only we open up the floor to the public and then to everyone here. All right.
Yeah, we leave it to the end so that they can
Yes,
keep
correct.
the
The good thing.
questions and answers later.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
all right, here we go. So the first question for you, Mr. Soma,
Yeah.
what is terahertz energy? Wow, this is so
Okay.
common.
This question has been asked many times,
Yeah.
but for the benefit of especially those who are new. Now, basically, this terahertz energy wasn't there if you look at it 30 years ago. There was a gap there, especially in between the microwave and the infrared, and people really didn't know how to make use of it. It was basically neither here nor there. That is, it was not electronics or it was not photonics, right in the middle. But in the last 3 decades, people have started knowing how to harness it and also use it. And now it is just making waves, all right? And it is on the electromagnetic spectrum. Yeah.
All right. So
Mm.
a lot of people like misunderstand that is it terahertz and this is infrared? Is it the same or any different between these two?
Basically, if you look at the infrared, it works on the body. People have been using it. They have been using it for rehab, and it works at the level where it gives heat, and there's infrared, and it helps with the circulation. But when you look at the terahertz energy, it works more than that. All right, it works at the molecular, cellular level. It helps with the vibrational, rotational, intermolecular, intramolecular forces which are right inside us. All right, that makes a big difference.
All right.
Yeah.
So now we know the difference. Okay. But what is the benefit of terahertz compared to other electromagnetic wave bands?
All right. Basically, when you look at the electromagnetic spectrum again, you will find that each wave has got a specific use. All right. Now, if we were talking about radio waves, you're talking about telecommunication, and then if you're talking about X-rays, you're talking about X-ray imaging. But when it comes to terahertz energy, we are talking about health. It works, of course, it's also helping in other ways. You're using it at the airports for scanning, you're using it for spectroscopy. Now the military is beginning to use it. But the most important part here for us humans is that it is being used at the cellular and molecular level and is helping with our health. Now that is really, really fantastic.
Wow, really good.
Yeah.
Okay. So another question, is it safe to use terahertz on human, especially like for long-term exposures?
Now, many people are worried because they are so used to different kinds of waves, right? Now, they know about X-rays that it can harm them. They know about UV light, which can harm them. And if you talk about microwaves, even Japan is banning them. But when it comes to terahertz energy, it has been found that it is harmless but powerful. Now, one of the reasons being that it is non-ionizing, which means that it does not steal electrons from the atoms and the molecules of the tissues of the body. All right, and then now you find that there is more and more research being done, and practically all research which uses low frequency. The point here is low frequency. Those using low frequency are finding them that they do no harm and they are helping with health. All right, and trust me, because I have been receiving questions from all around the world and having been in touch with them. So I have been asking people now, is there anything negative that you have found upon using this device? And so far, not even one negative testimony, except maybe one in India, where the person who recommended this device did not tell him that he has to move the wand around, not focus on one place. And it so happened that this person has got a bad case of diabetes, so his receptors were not functioning that well. So he blew at one spot, and then he had there was some a bubble there, burnt there, right? So that is not because of the device, but because he was ill advised, right? So it's definitely safe in the sense that it's non-ionizing, and at low frequencies, I think you needn't have to worry.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Non-ionizing is the keywords here. Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, the next questions. Can terahertz treat sickness? Oh,
Now, first of all, as I said earlier, we do not claim to cure or heal patients or individuals or whatsoever. We are not privileged to use those words, and we are not privileged to say that we are treating sickness. All right, only doctors and licensed professionals are allowed to treat and cure and heal patients. All right, so the iTeraCare blower is used as a therapeutic device and helps with natural healing, focusing on meridian, chakra, acupuncture, anatomic and reflexology points, and it helps the body to recover itself. Now that's what we will say, or we are allowed to say. Yeah.
okay. So we know that iTeraCare is effective and a lot of people are using it, all right, very often. So
Yes.
how many times do I need to blow in a day?
Now, even once a day, people are seeing very good results. But there are people who have got more time, who are probably they're at home. They have more time, and you can even blow up to 3 times. And each time they blow, give a period of about 4 hours in between each treatment, and they should be fine.
All right, so
Yeah.
maximum 3 times a day and then 4 hours
Uh,
between.
uh, uh, yes, basically three times a day should be fine.
All right, so how long can the iTeraCare blower last? Okay, they're worried,
Mm.
okay, it might broken down.
Now, what the company says is it's about 3 to 5 years, but I believe that if you handle it with care, it should last you even longer. The company gives you a 1 year warranty where if there is any manufacturing defect, you can send it back to where you purchased it from, and they will repair it for you. Or if it's the situation where it cannot be repaired, they will replace it for you. And of course, if it's not a manufacturing defect, then you may have to pay a little bit. And after 1 year, people are worried, after 1 year, what happens then? After 1 year, you can still send it to the company and they will get it repaired for you at a small price. All right. So there's one more thing, Zach. Probably I can just inform here that
Okay.
upon buying the device, they should key in the serial number within a week of buying so that they can enjoy the warranty. All right. If they've missed the dates, then get back to the person who sold it to you, and he will find a way how to get those serial numbers in at the for the warranty. All right.
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
to register your warranty.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, some of the people that are concerned about product that manufactured from China, and iTeraCare is made in China. So will there be any quality issue over here?
They are not wrong in saying that because we have seen so many China products
Yeah.
and even the day markets and flea markets where you can get them very cheap. But now actually China can produce anything you want. If you
Yeah.
want them cheap, they can give you cheap. But if you want quality products, definitely they can give you quality products. And iTeraCare is contracted with a reputable manufacturer, Dishang, right? And the technology is from the Chinese Academy of Sciences. And and the price we are paying right now is because of the quality of the technology, right? So where it is something different from the rest of the devices which we have been using, right? Now, at the same time, it is generally understood that all electrical products, generally about 3%, may have something faulty with them. There's a possibility. If you find anything wrong, immediately send it to the person, I mean your local representative, and they should get it repaired for you. All right. So there shouldn't be an issue with these devices.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree that a lot of branded product actually made from China, including the iPhone that we're using right now, right?
Correct.
So yeah. So another question. So When is the best time to use the blower? So daytime or nighttime?
Now, basically, you can use it any time of the day. There's no specific time. But the important thing here is do not rush. All right. Find time for yourself. The body listens, the body follows. Now, if you are rushing, the body is not ready for you. And if you have time for your body, then it performs better. All right. So normally people after they come back from work, probably they take a shower, and after the shower, then you have more time for yourself, and you're relaxed and you blow. I think you should see better results. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
For me, anytime is the best time when you are free, right?
Free, relax, and you have
Yes,
time for yourself.
yeah, correct. All
Yeah.
right, so another question, any side effects if we overdo it, overblow, any side effects?
So far, there are no side effects, and I don't see there are any side effects. They are not like other devices or waves, where when you keep on doing, it gets worse. Here, the more you do, it becomes better. More improvement is happening inside. All right, but the only problem is that if you are willing to hold the device that long, people have
Yeah,
used up to 50 minutes
yeah.
with no side effects except for improvements. All right, but basically about 20 to 30 minutes will be just good. 20 minutes is just ideal. All right, so and give the body time to recover. All right, especially if you have a chronic problem. You see, every time when you use it, something is happening. Let the body recover a little bit, then do it again. All right, that's how the body works.
Yep. And then another thing is like consume more water, right?
Yes, of course. When you also take consume water, is definitely going to help you.
Yep.
So consume water before you start, maybe a glass or two, and then once you have finished, consume another glass of two. Is definitely going to
Yes.
help you.
All right.
Yeah.
So the next questions, what is the minimum age to use iTeraCare?
There's no minimum age, Zach. Now you can see from the testimonials from around the world that even infants and elderly people are enjoying using
Wow.
this, and parents are using this device for infants, especially when they have colic, all right, and it's helping them. So there's no minimum age, there's no maximum age.
All right. So I mean anyone can use.
Yes.
Okay, this is good. So how long can I use the blower each time?
Uh, Now, as I said earlier, 20 minutes will be ideal, okay, for one specific problem. But the blower itself, if you were to use it continuously, that means some people have multiple problems. They might want to go from one point to another point. So normally you can use it up to about 50 to 60 minutes, and the classic has a cut off switch where if it's too hot, it'll cut off, and then once it's cooled, you start it up again and use it again. But if you are using the premium or the pro, you can use it continuously for hours. But basically these three devices I've explained, but for one particular problem, try to keep it to around 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes maximum. You should be fine. All right? Is that okay, Zach?
Okay, we
Yeah.
got it now. All right, since you know that iTerra is so good, so do I still need to take supplements or any health food after using like iTerra?
Now, we must understand that the body works in different ways. There are so many things going on inside. And iTeraCare is actually one part of it. All right. Now, if you have in your company different departments handling different issues in the company, now iTeraCare handles one part. So the supplementation, all right. Now, if you are eating healthy food, a proper diet, then you may not need the supplementation. But if let's say the food is not adequate, then you still might need supplementation. That is entirely different. That comes under nutrition. All right. So the blower works on the therapeutic level, right? And the supplements, healthy food, they come under nutrition. So we still need healthy food and supplements if it is necessary on top of using the device.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
balanced diet, right? Balanced diet is the key.
Yes, correct.
So, okay, move to the next questions. After using iTeraCare and before this is having pain, and after that, after using it, there's no more pain, okay, actually solve the problem. So, do I still need to continue using the blower?
Now let's look at it this way. Now, first of all, you have that problem because something is not right with your body. That means something is not happening. So because of that, you come to this problem. Now, when you use this device, it has corrected the problem, and now you do not have that pain. You have pain management, assuming that you're okay now. Now, if you can continue giving the body what it wants and the body can take care of itself, then you might not need to use. Unfortunately, most people do not know how to solve the problem. So, if you do not use, it slowly gets back to where it was before we started because there is something wrong with what you are doing. Maybe it's your food or something which is not right and it just is not getting corrected. But iTeraCare is helping you to correct that problem. So after having solved your problem, you need to know, have you corrected where the problem is? If not, then keep using it, and definitely going to keep your body in the best shape and probably improve even further from there. All right. It
Yeah,
helps to maintain.
yes.
Yeah.
For me, prevention is better than cure. So,
Yes,
why not just use it every day, right? Just like
correct.
20 to 30 minutes, right?
Right.
So, yeah, let's move on. How many times do I need to blow to see real results?
Now, some people are seeing results even after the first time. I had a
Wow.
case where this guy, he had a fall, a motor accident. He had swelling, and when I met him, his hand was in a bandage, and he was in pain. He couldn't move his fingers. He couldn't touch the fingers because of the pain. The bone had cracked, and it was swollen and for 3 months he has been suffering without any improvement. But when I used the device, after about 20 to 25 minutes, the swelling went down. He could touch his fingers. He could bend the fingers a little, just one time. So depends on the person and how chronic the problem is. It might take even from 5 to 15 times. It's a good time, a number of times to see good results.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
got it. Different people might have different result and different timing.
correct. It
So
cannot be
yeah,
the same. Even two people who are having the same problem, all right? Now, if you have diabetes and the other person has diabetes, but one person might take longer because of other things which are happening in his body.
yeah, all right.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
next question, hair dryer, all right. Someone compared it with hair dryer. It's blowing out hot hair as well. So this blower, is it the same as hair dryer?
Now, if there is no terahertz, then when you buy the iTeraCare, it is an expensive hair dryer, right? So the difference is that compared to the normal hair dryer, the terahertz device, sorry, iTeraCare device has got terahertz energy, right? That makes a big difference. Otherwise, it's just a hot air blower as well. And that is what is helping people, right? Now, if you look at now what's happening is, especially ladies and even men for that matter, they are now slowly moving away from their blowers and now they're beginning to use the iTeraCare device as the hair blowers, right? Now the reason being, using the blowers is actually damaging their hair, right? And, over a period of time, after a certain age, you'll find that your hair thins faster, drops faster, and is dry, and you do more damage to the scalp. But when people start using the iTeraCare device as a blower, hair blower, what's happening is they are finding that the scalp is improving and their hair is thickening again, getting stronger, shiny, and they're loving it. So now lots of people are already beginning to use the iTeraCare device as their hair blower. All right. So now I would advise those who are using blowers to change. Start using the iTeraCare device as your hair blower. All right.
Yeah, if there's an option, why not use a blower with this terahertz energy, right? So when we talk about this energy, then how can we actually prove there's energy when we use the iTeraCare?
Now, that's a very difficult question to answer, Zach, because
Yeah.
presently we don't have a proper testing device which can tell you how much energy there is. Because only the manufacturers have a testing device where they can test, and it's going to be very, very, very expensive, right? So hopefully, when lots of people are using and terahertz becomes popular, there are people who will design testing equipment to test the terahertz energy, and they can provide us where the cost is low and everybody can afford one. Right now, what we do is presently just to show that there is energy from the blower, we charge the water, and then we do an energy test. You can see on the on YouTube. There is one video where I'm actually showing how the energy test is done, and people can actually use that to see whether there is energy in the blower. All right, and that is that is one way. The other one is if you were to hang sort of like a pendulum, you can use whatever you wish to over the water which you have charged compared to the water which is not charged. You can see that at the water, above the water which is not charged, that pendulum is not going to move. But when you hold it above the water which is charged, the pendulum is going to start moving in circles. Now, that is another simple way of identifying, all right? So that's the only way we have right now.
All right.
Yes.
So just now you mentioned about charged water, right? So how does charged water really help us?
Now what's happening is when you drink charged water, when you charge the water in the first place, it breaks down the clusters, water clusters, H2O, which are in cluster form, and now more than 90% of the water is going to get into your cells. Second thing is practically all the water which we are drinking, which you are buying, if you are getting from the taps, from the filters which we have, they do not contain energy by the time they reach you. So the cells in the body, they need that energy, and they need to be well hydrated to be able to function optimally. Unfortunately, it is not happening. Now, if you are young, you may have enzymes which are helping you with the breaking down of the clusters and you are surviving. But as you get older, especially when you pass 40, 45, now you have less of those enzymes and they are getting less every year. So now the water is not able to enter the cells as much as they should. And probably only about 30 to 50% of the water which you are drinking actually enters your cells. So what's happening is you are continuously being dehydrated and you do not have the energy. So what happens is your cells, they start becoming inert and dormant, and we are always wondering why is it that I'm getting worse. And we take for granted that as we age, disease will set in. That should not be. We can age gracefully, all right, if we know the secret behind that. So now with iTeraCare, when you charge the water, it's breaking up the clusters, giving it the energy, and when it enters your body, it's working throughout your body. It's going to places where before this the cells may be inactive and they're activating them. And then you start finding that, wow, now lots of things are happening to me. And the energy level is different. You know why? Because in your cells, there is something called cytoplasm. And in the cytoplasm, you have the mitochondria, which help you with your energy. So people are feeling listless, tired, because the water is not getting in. Now, when the water gets in, the cytoplasm needs about 80% water. So when you get that water in, now the mitochondria starts to work, they start producing energy, and you feel very energized. All right. So this is happening, and that is why we tell people drink charged water, change your habits, stop the other water, use that water to charge and drink. And people are changing the health is changing now.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Smaller molecule, better absorptions.
Correct.
So yeah, how about when is the good time to drink the charged water?
Now, if you ask me that, I would suggest drinking it throughout the day. All
Throughout
right?
the day?
Do not gulp it down. Every time you drink, sip and get it in. Because when you sip, it, it gets absorbed into your cells immediately. All right? It goes in immediately and you're continuously bringing it inside and drink it throughout the day, right? Because you want to be charged throughout the day. Now, just to put it in perspective, I would suggest every 1 hour at least one glass. Because when you drink that one glass, it keeps you charged. And towards the end of 1 hour, if it starts going down, you're drinking another glass and keeps you charged again. So throughout the day, you're going to be charged.
Okay, all right, throughout the day. So can I drink the water from my tap?
Now, depends from in which country you are, Zach. Because now, for example, in the US, I was told that the water is so safe to drink from the tap. Now, I cannot say the same in other countries, right?
Yeah.
So now the problem here is the water clean and safe enough to drink? Now, if the water is clean and safe enough to drink without causing you health issues, then it should be fine. Otherwise, it'll be a good idea to filter first before drinking the water so that you remove the bacteria, the sediments, the chlorine, the heavy metal, and whatnot, which shouldn't be getting into your body.
All right. So just take note that depends on which country you are in. All right. So yeah, I understand that when we use iTeraCare device, and there could be a period where users can undergo which is called healing crisis. So can you explain a little bit about this?
Now, in lots of alternative medicine, alternative medicine, they're looking at natural healing. Where in natural healing, when the body is clearing itself, all right, so you look at it like it's getting worse initially before it gets better. It has got to get rid of whatever is unwanted, and when it's getting rid of those things which are unwanted, usually it's the toxins and the waste, people feel that they're getting worse. So, in a healing crisis, symptoms briefly worsen before beginning to improve. Some of them call it an aggravation, a detox reaction, or a cleansing reaction. All right. So, you just bear with it for a while and you will pass. All right. That means you feel like it's getting worse and then you'll get better. Now, people who are actually recommending these devices to others should actually inform them that this could happen to them, which normally happens especially if you're chronic. Otherwise, they are going to just put this device aside because instead of getting better, they are getting worse. That's what they feel. And they wouldn't even tell you because the person who recommended this device is probably their friend and he wouldn't want to hurt their feelings. So now he doesn't tell them, and you do not know that they have put it aside and it's gone to waste. So tell them that this thing happens and they'll get back to you saying that, okay, the healing crisis is happening to me now. Now, what do I do now after this? So you can give them confidence.
All right, sound interesting. Yeah. So
Yeah.
can you also explain a little on why people get these reactions because maybe they do not understand.
Now, as I explained earlier, the water which we have been drinking, first they are in cluster form, and secondly they do not have the energy, so uh, they are not able to clear the waste material and toxins which they have been collecting all the while. All right, so it just gets collected more and more, right? And the disease, if areas where, if just to put it in perspective again, areas where there is less water normally get disease, and areas where it is disease, you find that there is less water. All right, it's a fact. Now, when you get that water into those areas again, what it does is, the first thing it does is, it starts getting rid of whatever has been collected there, right? And so when that happens, then people get reactions, different kinds of reactions depending on where this happens, right? So that is why they get these reactions.
Ah, now I see. Right. So, what are some of the symptoms that we might can right expecting, right? So, so that we are aware of these healing crisis reactions.
Uh, Depends where and what, but generally, some of them might feel that, they might feel hot, all right? So it could be heatiness in the body, and you'll try to get rid of that heatiness. Some of them might feel cold, all right? Basically, that they have poor circulation in the body, all right? And then some of them might feel itchy, right? When you start blowing, suddenly you find that that area is itchy. What happens is, the areas where there was poor circulation now have increased circulation in the blood, of the blood, and you find that it's itchy. Some of them, they have stomach problems, and they find bloating, right? The stomach, especially your GI tract, gastrointestinal tract, is filled with air or gas, all right? And you find bloating. And there are also some people who have numbness, right? Numbness, especially you have damage to the nerves, or you have your body feel or chi is no good. And some of them have rheumatic pains, and there's poor blood circulation in those areas, and you might feel extra pain when it's starting to work on them. And if the meridians are blocked, or if there are some blood clots in your vessels, then you can also feel pain. And there are people also who sweat, right? You find that you're sweating more, and it's like a sign of skin detoxification. There are also people who have rashes on the body. You see, the body tries to clear itself. Now, there are a number of ways the body tries to clear itself. First of all, through your urine, right? Now, if you do not drink enough water, there's not much urine coming out, and it cannot clear itself. And then through passing motion, and then the third one is through sweating. If you do not drink enough water, it doesn't come out. It is just unable to come out. So what happens is, the body starts getting red rashes, where you can say that the body is rebelling, trying to clear itself of the toxins, and you still do not understand that this is because you're not drinking enough water. Now, there are some people who also, what do you call that, have frequent urinating, where it is helping with the removal of toxins and excess water. Some people have water retention problems, so the frequent urinating is clearing you. Some people have fever, so the toxins which are being removed now in the bloodstream, and when they are in the bloodstream, they are a little bit acidic, and you feel feverish, right? When you have a fever, you can check your blood; it's a little bit acidic, right? So when the toxins are being removed, So it's a bit acidic, and you feel a little bit feverish, a little bit down. And if you have chronic sicknesses, you might have the recurrence of those chronic sicknesses because it is detoxifying, right? It's trying to remove it. It's as if like the problem has is recurring, right? So that happens, and you might even have dizziness, right? Dizziness. People have also reported being dizzy. So this is probably, I mean, there's less blood going into your head, or even upon using this device, more blood is going into your head, causing dizziness. It's associated with blood circulation. So a sudden rush of blood into areas which were not receiving good circulation. So also that can also cause you dizziness. And some people have even said it feels like there's something moving around in my body, especially around my tummy, right? So this is a good reaction which implies the smoothness of the meridian, right? The energy is moving around. And for ladies, you could even have what is called a discharge, white discharge, or another name for it is leukorrhea. Leukorrhea, and gynecological diseases, indicating that there is improvement of your issues, and also is reducing inflammation, which is a natural reaction. Now, just to go a little bit further, ladies, especially in the womb area, so they have lots of things which are unable to be cleared. But upon using this iTeraCare, lots of things come back to normal, and to come back to normal, it has to be cleared. Where does it clear? First, from the womb, it passes to the cervix, and from the cervix, it comes out to the vagina, right? And that is where you see the symptoms, but actually the problem is at the womb, right? So you're actually improving yourself. It needs to be clean. All right. So basically that's it, right? I think that's enough for now. The
Oh,
ma-
there's a
yeah,
lot, a lot of
that's a lot.
symptoms that we might get expecting, all
Uh,
right? So, but
yeah.
not to worry, this is a healing crisis, and then we will go off eventually. So, recently in your weekly talks, you have been mentioning a lot about this. Water can play an important role in our health. So, even in your conclusion just now, you have mentioned about it. So, can you explain a little bit about it?
Yes, sure, Zach. Now, first of all, I'd like to conclude what I was saying just now. First of all, continue using the blower, even though you may feel uncomfortable for some time initially. So that's the healing reaction there. Drink plenty of water, especially water charged by this device. Drink in excess of 2 to 3 liters. You will see big changes. And chronic diseases come from the accumulation over time. So it just cannot disappear in just suddenly. So give some time for the body to recuperate, right? To get rid of everything that it has accumulated before. Because now your cells are active and they have already started work. Now, recovery is different for different people. You cannot expect the same reaction for two given people, right? So let the body heal itself, give it time, and be patient. This is not a miracle, it is science. All right. The miracle is where before this they would have tried many other methods, it doesn't work, and suddenly with this device it's working. All right. That's the miracle because the science behind it explains why this happens. Okay. And but by the will of God, miracles do happen. The miracle is that the first miracle is that you can have this device in your hands, that somebody has recommended, you are able to use it. That's a miracle by itself. All right. So ask for God's blessings. And Zach, you asked about the what do you call it? How water can play an
Yeah.
important part with us. All right.
Yes.
Now, water is very important. People are taking it for granted. All right. Now, especially as I explained just now, the water clusters and then the energy. Now, in the body, now what happens is when you do not drink enough water. So the body has got its own priorities. Now, what it does is, first, it supplies to the brains. That is the most important area where the water needs to go. Second, it goes to the organs. Third, if there is excess water, enough water, then it goes to other parts of the body and the limbs. Now, if you do not drink, then you're already starting with lots of problems. Now, if you watch lots of people who are getting old, they have lots of problems in their limbs, their knees, they have knee pain because now they do not have enough water. That water is going to their brain and their organs, and there is less for their body, and there's poor supply to their knees, and they start with knee problem. All right. So if you start drinking more water, charged water, water which works for you, you will find that that will be reversed. All right. And half of the problems people face begins with the lack of water which they consume, which doesn't get into the cells. And people, what they do is they take it for granted. Oh, this is because I'm getting old. So the problems come with that. Actually, it doesn't have to be that way, right? Age gracefully. Drink that water. Bring back that health. You are going to be okay, right? And please put more importance to your water intake. Now, what happens is elderly people, they are worried. Okay. Now, what happens is what has been happening. The water which they are drinking is not working for them. There's no energy or it's not getting in. So their organs, their blood vessels and nerves, especially the organs, huh, they become a little bit hardened and they have no control. Right? For example, the sphincter muscle which controls the bladder, it becomes a little bit not controllable because there's less water which is going in to keep it elastic and in working order. So what happens is there is more frequent urinating, right? In one night, you might go a number of times. So what they do is to avoid that, they start drinking less water. And when they start drinking less water, it becomes worse. It becomes a vicious cycle. It becomes worse. So what you should do now is start drinking the charged water more. Of course, initially there's going to be lots of urinating, but give yourself time and you'll take care of that. You will be urinating less frequently, and now the muscles will be able to work better and they have more control over your bladder and other organs in the body. So, water plays an important part. Most of our problems have started from there. Right?
Yeah, right. We got it. Okay. So when we talk about water intake, what would you suggest that how much of water that we need to take in a day?
Now, first of all, make sure that the water you're getting is clean and drinkable. Any clean or drinkable. I would also add, if you can, avoid RO water, reverse osmosis, over a long period is not too good. So any other water should be fine as long as it is drinkable, clean, and can be without giving you any issues. And the amount of water you should drink is uh, start with something which is comfortable for you. All right, start with something which is comfortable for you. Increase it over a period of time to an excess of 2 to 3 liters. Why 2 to 3 liters? Because let me again show you why it is important. Now, when we urinate, we are, giving out about 1 to 1.5 liters, and then we sweat another 500 liters. We pass motion another about 300, sorry, not liters, milliliters, right? 500 milliliters and 300 milliliters, right? And when we breathe, there goes another 200 milliliters. So overall, for ladies, it's about 1.5 to 2 liters, and for men, 2 to 2.5 liters is used for its basic utilities. Now, if you don't drink even that, then you're going to run into problems. And if you can drink more than that, that means you can drink 3 liters and more, then first of all, the utilities are going to be fine and you have excess water to work on the other tissues. All right? And you're definitely going to see improvements. So I would say that because it's important that the water you drink should be getting into our cells in abundance to hydrate them, fully hydrate them, and to energize them. Is that?
All right, 3 liter is a good number. All right. So, yeah, can you explain a little bit more about this water?
Basically, they are in cluster forms, right? Because the water practically everywhere, anywhere, they have been in that state by the time it comes to you. If you look further, they'll tell you that because of the van der Waal forces holding them, and you have to break them, okay, break those forces, and the iTeraCare device is helping with that. Okay, it's breaking up the clusters and making them linear. So now more than 90% is going in and taking in the energy. So I keep repeating this because every other thing which works in the body, you're looking at your blood vessels, you are looking about clots, and everything else starts from these two. And they are not able to function optimally, right? They become inert or dormant, and this gives rise to various health problems, right? If people realize that, they will start drinking the charged water in abundance, and they will find that suddenly things are working for them. We have people who are bedridden who are now up and about walking. The biggest thing or the smallest thing which we have given them is just charged water, and it was working on them, right? And then when you have the device, make use of it fully, all right? Make use of it. Don't just use once a day and then charge the water and give your entire family, all right? And you find that everybody is now active. Now I also found when people drink this water, they go for games, for example. Children, they go to school, they go to varsity, they come back tired. They are physically tired, they are mentally tired. All right. Now, what this water does is it quickly recovers them. The recovery is just phenomenal. All right. And you find that when they come back, they are no more like before where they're tired, they want to sleep. They come back and then they may have to do homework. And you find that they're able to go. They're able to maintain that. And the absorption of whatever they are doing, the studies becomes much better. Trust me with that.
Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Are you saying that iTeraCare actually helps the body recover its health?
I will say that the iTeraCare device or the terahertz energy doesn't have help you to recover your health as per se. You know why? It creates conditions in the body and now the body takes over and the body does the recovery. What more can you ask for? How more beautiful can it get? You
Yeah.
know, the body now is able to do what it does best. It recovers its health naturally, and that's what the iTeraCare device and the terahertz energy does for the body. All right, like what Hippocrates had mentioned 25 centuries ago. Natural forces within us are the true healers of disease. All right. So what we are doing is we are getting those natural forces within us going again, which was not able to move, and that is now helping us to recover naturally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the explanations on how iTeraCare charged water is helping with our health. So, Mrs. Loma, are there any friendly reminder for our audience today?
Yes. As I said earlier, if you have healing reactions, bear with it. The reaction may appear from time to time, especially in the initial stages, right? And after doing therapy, try not to shower. Give about 4 hours before you shower again. or whatever you have done for your body, you do not want to do the reverse by pouring cold water on yourself. Now you can use air condition and fan, but control it such that it's not too cold, where it cools you down too much, right? I know now the weather is so hot, and some of you, most of us, including me myself, will not be able to sit in a room without the fan or air conditioner,
Yeah.
right? And the food, try not to eat cold food or consume cold water, right? And it could be counterproductive to what you have done. So just be careful of these things, and you should be fine.
Okay. So, what are the usage precautions, if any?
Okay, now for the device itself, first of all, there are people who tug at the wires at the back, right? The cord. Now, do not try to hold it by the cord or pull it by the cord, and even the plugs which you are plugged in. Do not pull it by the cord, pull it out by the plug. And then the air inlets at the back, make sure they're not covered, they do not have dust. Clean them from time to time if it's necessary. And what do you call that? The heat dissipation. Now, before you store your devices, make sure they are cool. They are cool down, right? So you may have to place them on the table until they cool down before you store them. When you store them when they are hot, they start giving you problems, right? And the inner structure is made from delicate crystal tubes, quartz crystal, so you need to handle them with care. If you drop them, and if the quartz crystal shatters, they are not going to work for you. Then you may have to send it back for it to be repaired, right? And then do not allow water to touch or enter, especially when it is hot, in the chamber. So that's going to shatter the glass, and you have a problem there, right? So just to summarize, handle the devices with care, and they are going to care for you very well.
Yes, just take care like it's your baby, right?
Yes.
Yes. So, okay. So, are there any don'ts or anything which is not recommended?
Now, generally, we will inform people. There are certain situations where we would say do not use this device, especially pregnant women during menstruation, people with stents in their heart, implants in their heart, or implants in their bodies. You know, sometimes you have metal implants when you have fractures, open wound and fractures, especially they are bleeding, acute diseases, right? So these are conditions where you have to. I mean, we would not recommend that. Also, another one is eyes, right? If your lenses in your eyes, implants in your eyes, he will tell you to avoid those areas. But of course, you can blow on other parts of the body.
All
Yeah.
right. So, yeah, just take precautions. If you are not suitable to use, do not use it. All right. So, thank you, Mr. Soma, for your patience in answering all the common questions here. So now